Hey, it's Jack from Alpha Charts with a state of the market video. Today is July 15th, 2023. Before we get started, this video is for informational purposes only. These are not recommendations to buy, sell, or hold any stock or security. I may hold positions in some of the equities mentioned. Know your time frame and risk tolerance. Before we get started, one quick announcement. If you're not following me on Twitter, today happens to be my Twitter anniversary. I think it said 6 years. It's pretty cool. I'm at AlphaCharts365 on Twitter, so please check me out there. Always posting information, charts, sometimes scans, things like that. And if you like my content, I do offer a subscriber group. It's $10 a month, and you get a ton of content. I'll just scroll through it real fast. I don't want to spend a lot of time here, but on Sunday, I do a ton of work, including special videos, focus lists, watch lists, uh, uh, market notes. Tuesdays, I do midweek videos. I do scans all week long for idea generation. Thursday, I do another market note. I usually will chart on video format my scans at least once a week, and I do so much more. I don't want to, like I said, I don't want to spend a lot of time, but you can check me out at AlphaCharts365, and click on the subscribe button if you're interested. Okay, let's get to the charts. S&P 500. So it was a great week. Friday was not a great day, but let's go to the weekly chart and really look at this. Okay, in the week, it ended up 2.42. I'm not sure what people are expecting, but so far this is doing everything right. It hasn't done anything wrong yet. Its price is still well above all of its key moving averages. They're all turning up. So that is how I'm looking at the S&P. Again, on the week, it was up 2.42. Looking at the RSP, up about the same. So you see breadth was absolutely fine. You have this particular area, which we're going to watch to see if it breaks out or not. But RSP, the equal weight S&P 500, was right there. And going to daily, it looks just fine as well. Looking at the Qs, again, it's in that uptrend. That's what we have, right? And there was up 3.5% for the week. Okay, so that was really good. And you'll say, but it was all fueled by the mega caps. Well, not really, because the equal weighted Qs were up 4% more than the regular Qs. So again, a very strong move for the week. It just goes to breadth, right? Breadth is really, really good right now. I know there's a rebalance going on in the Qs, but which probably accounts for a lot of this volume right there. I don't really care about that, to be honest with you. I care about this at the equal weighted Q price, right? Let's look at IWM just to finish off some of the indexes. Up 3.69. Again, very strong week in IWM, small caps. Again, I know that was down 1% on on Friday, but overall the week was just really fantastic. And I still think it gets to the top of this range, so there's room to the upside most likely. And just to be complete, let's go to mid caps. Mid caps were down 1% on Friday, but on the week they were up 2.67. So again, another strong week across the board for all the indexes. All the moving averages are turning up. Things are looking absolutely fine at that level. Let's go ahead and look at the important sectors, right? So XLF is the first one. Friday had a bearish engulfing, so that wasn't the prettiest candle at all. But for the week, again, maybe some sellers came in, but overall it's back above all of its moving averages. Again, if you go to the daily, right? And they're starting to try to align bullishly again. 200 days flat, 50 days rising, and everything smaller than that is rising as well. So that's all we know, right? So are financials leading? They're not leading, but are they participating? My answer to that is yes, they're participating, and that's what I'm looking for. Let's look at SMH. Now that's one that you want to see leading. Let's see what it was doing. SMH up to a point of potential resistance. So expectations is there may be some pullback here, but on the week they were up 5.27%, and they did come kind of steeply up this right side of the base. So we'll see, what happens in this area. But as of right now, again, they are doing everything right. This little consolidation period right there was on lower volume, higher volume over here. But again, it's to be expected because of the area that it's in. And then we'll see what happens. A break above and hold above 160-ish, that's hard to be bearish in that scenario, right? And let's see if it's just the mega cap Nvidia and AMD and stuff that's forcing it. Well, the equal weights, they're not on all-time highs yet, but they were still up 4.43%. So broad-based in any way you measure it, it's broad-based. And you did have the breakout from this particular area right there, which I think is a positive. And again, room to the upside. So that's very good. Let's look at transports. Transports did kind of take a dive, but, right, well, here's the but. They're still above the rising 23-day, just below the 9-day. So, and I drew this in last week, said it's likely that these are extended, need to come back, maybe retest a breakout, maybe not even make it down here, and then potentially move higher, right? So I'm not shocked if it comes back and tests 82, 82 and a quarter, 83, somewhere around there. That would be expected and still within the context of this uptrend and the breakout sticking, right? This was a breakout that we were pretty happy about. There's a retest, and now it's come back. And again, that's just the way this kind of works, Every time it gets a little bit extended, it comes back. Let's look at housing now. Housing is very extended at this point, but you had the cup and handle. There's your breakout. Everything looks absolutely fine there, except that it is extended. I would expect a pullback in there, but using it as a indicator, right? It looks absolutely fine. And if you look at XHB, which is not only housing stocks, but also the things that support housing, the businesses that support housing, again, it's extended. I'd expect some sort of pullback, but there's definitely room to this upside to this area right there. Not a lot, but the uptrend's intact. So housing looks fine, transports look fine, semis look fine, financials are participating. To me, that's all healthy price action that we have going on there. Let's take a look at the internals. Maybe they're giving us some clues to what could happen. Let's take all this stuff away, switch to line chart, and we'll start with the VIX. All right, so the VIX still extremely low at 13 in a bullish range at this point. No crazy spikes or anything like that, even on Friday. So to me, that means that, the bull market still has legs potentially. Let's look at credit spreads, right? Are we going to see a tightening or a widening of credit spreads? And they're very stable, right? Nothing to see. They're just consolidating in this range, and they're continuing to be in the range. So, nothing, no cause for alarm in credit spreads, right? That's what we're looking for, cause for alarm. Put call ratio, we're definitely leaning bullish. There's no doubt about that. You could definitely see how things are leaning over time, since May, starting to come and lean bullish. But we're not at any extremes, haven't hit any extremes on a closing basis. And so, again, that says the bull could have legs, right? Once we get past, this area in general, then we start saying, okay, things are getting too bullish, right? Everyone's on one side of the boat, and we want to try to take the other side of that argument. But we're not there yet. There's still room. Breadth. Breadth is recovered quite nicely, as we've talked about. It's making higher highs and higher lows. But we're not in the frothy area, which I outlined with 80% or greater above the 50-day moving average. It's what I made. It's from my observations, right? This is where I like to say it's frothy. And so we're not quite there yet. Again, there's some room to the upside. So I think that so far things are looking pretty good, that this bull maybe long in the tooth, but still has legs left. Let's look at some of the dollar. The dollar, is supporting a bullish market because it's declining, right? 10-year yield, again, uh, declining, at least this past week, supporting the bullish market. We'll see, above, 4.1, 4.2-ish, and it's going to be much harder for equities to move higher. But we're not quite there yet either. Things are 3.82, so they look fine. Copper gold ratio, let's see what that looks like. They're moving higher, right? That's what we want to see, right? We want to avoid things below this green area, and when it's above it or retakes it, it's a much safer environment, in my opinion. So overall, even though Friday kind of left a little bad taste in our mouth, and listen, there may be a couple more days of a pullback, right? Because things did run so hard this week. I wouldn't be shocked if we flag out here a little bit, or potentially move sideways like this and get a little choppy and throw just a little bit of fear into the market. But my best guess, is that we're still in a healthy bull market, and it's still a place where you can buy the names that you want to be a part of, and then there's room to the upside. Now, is there as much room to the upside as there was in the breakout back here when we first identified it? Answer is no, there's obviously not. We're later in this cycle, right? And that's what it is. And there's about 2 to 3 good cycles throughout the markets that we try to participate in. And this is what I do for my subscribers on Twitter: identify those cycles, and we try to step back and go to cash or even potentially short when we're outside of those cycles. Okay. And so we can make our money, and hopefully more likely to keep them, right? Trying to get, determine the market direction, keeping on the right side of the market and the best names possible. That's what we try to do. Okay. Right now, I still think things look good. Anyway, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Go ahead and retweet this if you can. Share it with your friends. I do appreciate that. Hope you all have a great day.